So, Cape Junubin, yesterday morning, most of us as South Sudanese, we woke up to the sad news of the cattle keepers being under attack by the youth from the Eastern Equatoria. And that was after 4 days when the governor of Eastern Equatoria, Luis Lobong Lojere, and the commissioner of Mogui County had went to the cattle camp to discuss on the evacuation of the cattle keepers from Mogui County back to the place of their origin. And the native of the Mogui County, especially at Nyolo, they has previously complained about the cattle keepers or the kettles destroying their farmyards. And in that discussion, the cattle keepers agree that if at all that our kettles have destroyed the farmland of the native or the host communities, and then we are ready to compensate these communities. Whatever that our kettles have destroyed, we shall compensate. And that is the nature of how things are supposed to be done, even where they come from in jungle estates. We have laws. These cattle keepers are at the same time they are farmers too. They do meat farming, you know. So the question comes in, okay, if you are in jungle estates, how do they manage to regulate between agriculture and the cattle at the same time? The laws are there. And that's why they took that bold decision of saying, okay, if our cattle have destroyed the farmyards of these people, we are ready to compensate the native, you know. And they were given 3 days. 4 days later, they came under the heavy attack that surprised them at 4 a.m. in the morning. That was yesterday. You know, that was really a sad news. And to take you back to the history, the same scenario happened back in 2022, in May 11, 2022, when the cattle keepers in Mongali cattle camps also came under the same attack. At 3 a.m. in the morning, you know, about 36 people were killed, including small children and women. The vulnerable people were killed. And the fingers were pointing at the governor of Eastern Equatoria, Luis Lobong Lojere. And even the yesterday attacked the community or the cattle keepers, the herders, that's pointing fingers at him. They said, why always, whenever he comes, when he goes back, the attacks happen on us? You know? So Luis Lobong has to come clean. He has to explain to the people. So when you try to do the analysis of 2022 attack in Mongali cattle camp, when you see the distance between Mogui County and Greater Bibora Administrative Area, because these are the youth that the Eastern Equatoria always use Bibora Administrative Area as the scapegoat of what they've done. What happened in 2022 was a masquerade, and what happened yesterday in Nyolo is also a masquerade. So this is the high time for Luis Lobong to come clean, you know? And the MPs in jungle estates, those who are representing the cattle keepers, it is the high time that you call for justice. Because in 2022, those who were killed in 2022, there was no justice that was served. The perpetrators were not arrested, and Luis Lobong was not questioned. And this time around, then, this is the second time that his name is appearing in the killings of the innocent people. You know, it is too sad that the policymakers who are supposed to draft the laws on how to guide the communities, most especially the nomadic communities, the pastoralist communities, and the farmers, those who are supposed to draft the laws, these are the same very people agitating for the evacuation of the cattle keepers to their place of origin. Is that the solution? Why don't you sit down as the policymakers? Because these cattle keepers here, they're part of South Sudan, and they will live in South Sudan in generation to come. So it is either we sit down, it is either you as the lawmakers sit down and drop proper laws that will govern the communities, the pastoralist communities and the agricultural communities. But agitating for them to go back to their place of origin is not the solution. Another question comes in here. When you go to Western Equatoria, we have the Ambororo herders that are in Western Equatoria. So why always the herders from jungle estates that you people don't want them in Eastern Equatoria? Yes, we have the constitution. What does the constitution of South Sudan say? Every citizen has the right to stay anywhere they want in the country, all right, including the herders. So if the herders are violating the laws, and then the laws enforcement agencies have to come for them. No one is exception when it comes to enforcement of laws. So the enforcement of the laws, everyone is under it. So if the cattle keepers are violating, let them be apprehended. But telling them to go back to their place of origin and using the youth from Bibora administrative area as their scapegoat for the youth of the Eastern Equatoria is not making sense. You know. So the time will come for justice. And what happened yesterday is not nice. It is not good. It was a political motivated by some politician in Eastern Equatoria. And then my last message is to iRadio, because it was last week that iRadio was reporting that the cattle herders are invading some part in Eastern Equatoria. We need the journalists or the writers in iRadio, the news reporters, to go for research when they're using some words, term words like invading. A South Sudanese invading, is it making sense? Go back to 2022.